everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Today's topic is narcissism and generational curses. Narcissism and generational curses. Before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers, all of the new subscribers, and welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I really appreciate you. Now, those of you who are new to this channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions, and I will either answer them privately through the email, or I will share it online with the collective, and it can be your decision. Now, those of you who are interested in these caps, they are available in my online store, and you'll find a link in the description. Now it's time for today's affirmation, and we do these affirmations to help with your spiritual growth. Okay? All right, and here it is. I am patient with the process while staying focused on my desired outcome. I am patient with the process while staying focused on my desired outcome. Okay? Let this sit in your spirit. I am patient with the process while staying focused on the outcome. All right? Let this resonate in your spirit now, because this will help to change your outlook about life. Be patient with the process, but stay focused on your outcome. This is today's affirmation, and let it be a blessing to you. I am patient with the process while staying focused on my desired outcome. Okay, now it's time for movement, just to get that blood circulating for the day, and it helps us to feel good during the day. We're going to do 2 movements, 5 rounds for each movement. Okay? All right, here we go. This is it. Shoulders up, hands like this, right out in front of you, and just let it go. Okay? Come on, bring them back. We're going to do 5, and keep your arms up. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4. Come on. 5. Did you feel that? I felt that all in my arms. Did you feel it? Okay. Now we're going to do these. The same position, but we're going to go forward. Okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sit up straight. 4. Come on. Keep your arms up. 5. All right, shake it out. Get that blood circulating today. Okay, now let's dive into the message today. Narcissism and generational curses. I did pull a video. Let's watch the video. We have a letter, and then we're going to dive into it. All right, here we go.
Narcissistic abuse runs in families. It is a generational curse. You will see the same pattern no matter how far you go back. People who are not spiritual, people who do not belong to God, they continue to act out on the curse. Those that want to break the curse are usually shunned, but God sees their heart. Make no mistake, this is a curse.
This demon understands that it's the highly empathic child that is one that's most likely to be the starseed that came there to heal the lineage.
Allow me to agree and to shed more light.
And that's what's been happening for generation after generation after generation. This generational curse is this freaking demon embedded in the bloodline, embedded in the ancestral line, feeding off of all of the freaking damage that it's causing, the depression and the low self-esteem. This thing feeds off of the negative emotions.
This generational spirit, this generational entity, this dark generational entity will follow you throughout your life with one purpose and one intention, and that is to destroy you. Remember, it followed you into this dimension to destroy you. How this entity works is that it will enter into people of low vibration or of extreme negative energy and of extreme negative vibration. It will enter these people and then it will oppress you. It is not given the permission to kill you. I have lost count how many times this generational entity tried to take my life. I have lost count. No one can understand why I survived certain situations that were 100% effective and sure of ending my life. Even being hit by a big, giant construction truck. No one knew or could understand why I did not die. Why was I not splattered on the windshield? No one understood. How is she still standing? Everyone was screaming, she is dead. No, there she is, still standing up. Supernatural intervention. This spirit will attack the starseed no matter where the starseed go, which is why you will tend to see the same behavior pattern in negative people no matter where you go. It is the generational entity following you, using people who are in vibrational alignment to it. Negative vibration, negative energy, dark energy. These people, the entity can use, the spirit can use, which is why it didn't matter where I traveled, out of the country, back home with my family, here where I am, I saw the same negative behavior in people. It was the same spirit. The purpose and the intention of this spirit, this generational spirit, is to end you. Why? Because they know your purpose. They know why you are here. They know why you came. You came to break the curses, and they're needing to end you before you find out who you are. When I was nearing close to my spiritual awakening in 2020, the attacks intensified in ways that only the book of Job could explain. As a starseed, if you are noticing the same behavior pattern in people who are trying to hurt you, it is one spirit. It is one spirit following you, trekking you, one spirit stalking you. It came here to stop you from breaking generational curses. It does not want you to break the generational curse. It does not want you to become awakened. It does not want you to become enlightened. It does not want you to break free from the matrix. Why? Because when you break free, your entire generation is broken free. You breaking free and you becoming awakened and you breaking free from the darkness simply means that your entire generation, your entire bloodline has been broken free as well, because you were the one carrying the banner of the bloodline in the spiritual dimensions. It was you who came to break it.
Now, I hope you really listened to what she said, especially at the end when she talked about the empath being a starseed. That's why it's so important for you to get on your spiritual path, because this is your guidance and your protection on this journey. As you see, narcissism is very serious business, because narcissists are evil and destructive people. Now, we're going to link that with generational curses. It means that it runs in the family. This narcissism runs in the family. Okay? And many of you, if you have narcissists in your family, you can look in generations back behind you and find that narcissist running in your family. That's a generational curse. A curse. And it can be broken. But it needs to start with you. Okay? If you have narcissists in your family, the curse needs to be broken so that your children won't pick up that curse and go forward. You see? Narcissists cause so much damage to people. So much damage. And especially to the young. To the young. Because that's where many narcissists are created when they are really young. They suffer that abuse from the narcissist. And it's traumatic. And before you know it, a new narcissist is born. Okay? All right. Let's dive into this letter and see what she says. I am the product of an affair. My donor was older than my mother and concealed his marriage. My grandmother raised me while she completed college. And for the majority of my life, every weekend, holiday, and summer, we were promptly dropped off at your grandmother's house. This sounds familiar because growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother. I mean, a lot of time. Okay? She always had something else more interesting to do. No one could go out except her. My grandmother was a non-driver, thus a default babysitter and semi-dependent. Okay, I see here you must be talking about your mother. Okay, you must be talking about your mother, that every weekend or holiday and in the summer, she dropped you off at your grandmother's house. She always had something else more interesting to do. No one could go out except her. You're talking about your mother here. Okay. My grandmother was a non-driver, so was mine. Thus, a default babysitter and semi-dependent. Well, my grandmother wasn't dependent. She was independent. Okay. I remember all the holidays she stomped through the house, demanding people fix her plate, passing gas, then leaving abruptly to do her. This is your mother, right? Okay. My mama is ostentatious, commands attention everywhere she goes. Kind of sounds narcissistic to me. At my grandmother's funeral, she showed off and boasted about her legs, no boundaries, no respect for anything that doesn't serve her. Yeah, okay. I was the designated scapegoat. She cursed, screamed, and displayed open contempt for me every day. I know how this feels because I was the scapegoat in my family too. I was sorry, couldn't do anything right, lazy, fat, slouchy, aggravating, you name it. Well, that's the scapegoat. When you are branded the scapegoat in the family, you can't do anything right. Nothing is ever right for you. You can never do anything right. And everything that goes wrong in the family, you are blamed for it. She went out of her way to let me know I was the Walmart version of her. Really? Smart to her clever. Not as pretty or intriguing. I was a latchkey child with a host of responsibilities. I'd come home, prepare food, sometimes cook help with homework, clean the kitchen, etc. She'd brag to her friends that I was a good girl, but she ruled by fear and violence, mostly verbal, but punching and slapping at times, and denied me any praise. This is narcissistic abuse firsthand. This is it. This is what it looks like. Meanwhile, I graduated high school early, was a champion UIL speaker, was well liked by teachers, respected and responsible, and creative. I attribute everything I know to my Medea, your grandmother. Yeah, I do too. I do too. My grandmother taught me a lot growing up. Okay? My sibling was the golden child. Despite being an entitled underachiever, he continues to get resources and excuses galore. Well, that happens in narcissistic families. You'll have a golden child and you'll have the scapegoat. Okay? And in my family, we had the golden child and I was the scapegoat. Okay? All right. My mama handicapped me by refusing to teach or help me. She always expected me to know things automatically. Probably not, but she just uses that against you. Okay? Then take care of her. I've given her thousands of dollars. I'm divorced, yet she still asks me for money. Anything I have, she wants. I've taken things out of my house for her, applied to jobs for her. Nothing is ever enough. This is the way of the narcissist. This is the way that the narcissist operates. The narcissist is an evil being out to destroy you. And the narcissist's target is that scapegoat first. The scapegoat gets it first. Okay? In college, I met my abuser. Well, in college, you met another abuser. You've already been abused growing up. Okay? Into the whirlwind, romance, and pregnancy. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about nothing. He let it be known that he desired a wife. That most girls were shallow and untrustworthy. I wasn't even properly love bombed. Well, if you well, you probably got a little shortchanged on that one. I got a lost boy victim mask. I think I was groomed. You were. The screaming, put downs, physical intimidation felt familiar. Because you grew up with this kind of treatment. And that's why it felt familiar. And that's why you were drawn to it. You understand? I actually tried to leave and fled to my mama, who promptly told me I was sloppy and would lose my husband. Wow. Well, you see, you ran from one to the other. Okay? And she's not going to help you at all. Okay? Listen, when I was young and during my first marriage, which was a horrible marriage, my narcissist parent told me I had to stay with it. I had to stay with it. That was my husband. This is it. And I stayed for 7 horrible years because I was trying to please the narcissist. The narcissist can never be pleased. And once I realized that, that's when I left. Okay? I married a man who had nothing. We were college poor, with 2 beat-up cars between us. I believe I trauma bonded with him. From 18 through 30, I sank my existence into being a wife and a mom. He berated our kids too. He told me our 7-year-old had a problem with respecting male authority. Took my son's height and developing manhood as a challenge. I had a dog which he beat. He locked the doors from outside, so my kids were confined to their rooms most of the day. He hated the care I put into my babies. We 3 slowed his momentum. He'd be further in life without us dragging him down. This is what he's telling you? That you and the children are slowing down his momentum? I thought this was the man who wanted to get married. I thought he was looking for a wife. Now all of a sudden he doesn't want one? Is that it? Okay. Never mind, I graduated pregnant with a toddler, then earned a master's. He sacrificed everything for his ungrateful wife and kids. That's what he said to you? Sounds like bad news to me. When I invested in my career, I bloomed. I was killing grad school and developing skills. He got weight loss surgery, some dating profiles, and eventually set himself up to exit. Okay, well, at least your kids are getting older and you are in grad school. You understand? You got your master's. So really, you're on your way to your own financial security. So if he's preparing for his exit, should be good news to you. My kids were 8 and 10. He'd pay all the utilities. Everything was in his name. Yet I wasn't submissive enough. It wounded me to be discarded. I know it wounded you. That was the intent. Okay? Because you was raised by a narcissist. You didn't say it in the letter, but he was probably a narcissist too. And the way that he is treating you is very narcissistic. It's very narcissistic. And you were wounded when he discarded you. You see, it wasn't that you were not submissive enough. This is what narcissists do. They discard you and move on to other supply. Okay? Maybe you were too much of a challenge. And you say that your son was a challenge to him because your son is growing up now and he's not going to take that abuse from his father. Don't believe that you were not submissive enough, because the narcissist, this is part of his program to discard a supply. And when he discards you, he's only just putting you on the shelf. Okay? He'll come back once you get set up again, get strong again, and get your life in order. He'll come creeping back to try to do it all over again. All right? So with him discarding you, it's actually a blessing. It's a blessing. And I'm going to tell you why I say this, because I went through the discard too. And I was broken hearted because I had done everything to try to keep the relationship together when he was doing everything to destroy it. And then when he finally walked out, I was devastated. I was, because in my mind, this was going to be it. This was going to be my last stop. Okay? So yeah, I was very disappointed when it broke up. But what it did, When I dried my eyes, I hopped right on my spiritual journey because I wanted to find out what this was all about. Because this wasn't natural. It wasn't normal to me to feel this kind of hurt. I never felt this kind of hurt before. And I've had relationships, a lot of relationships, but I never felt the hurt that I felt in this relationship. So when he discarded me, I wanted to know what it was all about. So I hopped on my spiritual journey, and all of the answers came to me. Okay, everything became very clear. But because he discarded you, what I want you to know and want you to understand that he'll be trying to come back. That's what they do. But he'll give you some time to get strong again. To get strong again. And then he'll come and tell you how sorry he is and he wants to start over with you. No, never take him back. Never take him back. He's evil. This is evil. What does that say when a man leaves his family? If he is a narcissist, it says, good, let him go. Don't ever look back at him. Period. This man is evil. Okay? The woman must be a dragon, right? No. No. Has nothing to do with you. You were just a victim of narcissistic abuse. That's what it was. You were only a victim. This man used and abused you, just like the treatment that you endured growing up. It was just a continuation of it. All right? You say, my honor rolled babies, and I drove him off by refusing to listen and be led. I don't know what that is. No, we don't do any of these things. Women, we are strong people. Very strong people. And, and no, we are not about to be led. We are not looking to be led. We are leaders. We are not followers. Okay? All right? And we're not looking for mates to lead us. That's where the folly is. If you're looking for somebody else to be your leader, well, then they can do with you whatever they want. This is what you are creating if you are looking for a man to be your leader. He can do with you whatever he wishes. Okay? Divorce be damned. He tried to maintain the hold over me, calling and coming back unsolicited. Oh, he's already tried to come back. Threatening to withhold support. He can't do that if you did it legally. He can threaten all he wants to. If you went down to the court and they've ruled that he has to pay support, he has to pay it. And if you haven't done that, you need to do that. Okay? If you haven't gone and made his support legal, you need to do it. Because he will always hold this over your head. Okay? And then eventually he'll just stop. He'll just stop. I was still getting cursed out, having to rescue my young'uns from his hell house. The abuse was going to be eternal. If you accept it eternally, it will be. You are accepting it. You are accepting this behavior. Cut it off. He's already discarded you. You legally need to get rid of him, period. Don't answer his calls or text or anything. And go get legal support so you don't have to deal with him, period. Okay? Last year, he attacked my teenagers. What you will never do is hurt my children. That woke me up. I figured out that I was cast into a role of his mama and being pushed by proxy. It's like a program. We're really us, but these funhouse distortions. Well, this is, When you're living with a narcissist, the narcissist kind of creates the reality. So yeah, it can be crazy. It can be crazy because what you believe is real is probably an illusion that the narcissist is creating for you. Okay, and it just kind of keeps you confused and going around and around in a circle. I cut all communication and took control of my bills, my life. When I confided in my mother about my fears for the future, she told me that I deserved it. Why did you go and say anything to your narcissistic mother when all of your life she has never been supportive to you? Why did you think that she was going to support you here? I experienced the same thing in my family. When I was going through my hard times, they didn't come to my rescue. It was on me to rescue myself. They washed their hands of any responsibility for me and mine. It was about me to rescue myself from being with that narcissist. Okay? All right. I was stupid and let a man run all over me. I never asked her permission to get married in the first place. There is a price for disobedience. Like she herself wasn't beaten in every relationship. Okay, so this is what your mother's telling you. That you were stupid? Oh, you're saying that you felt like you were stupid to let a man run all over you. Well, see, when you're in a relationship like this, you want to work on the relationship. And you do that as long as you can until you realize that you are working to hold on to the relationship when the other person is working to destroy you in the relationship. You understand? That's their mission, to destroy you while you're working and doing everything to satisfy them. And they love that. That's what they want. That is the supply. That's the supply. Your obedience, you doing everything to satisfy them, and whatever they desire from you is supply. Okay? She had to go. The kids reported the abuse. In retaliation, he hasn't paid child support and blocked our children's number. Bought a house they've never set foot in. Okay, so, are you divorced from this man? Let me look again. Okay, you say post-divorce. So you are divorced now. But your children are still communicating with him. Okay, all right. I feel re-traumatized seeing my children rejected and abandoned like this. Well, you know what? I would not encourage my children to even go to his house. Well, now you're saying that he bought a house and they've never set foot in the house. It may be a good thing if they don't. If he's a narcissist, he doesn't have anything good for your children. You say he's already been abusive to them. You see, and they are getting older now. Maybe they don't need to be around it, period. I don't know what your court order is, if he has visitation or even if he even wants visitation. Okay? But ladies, it's not important that your children have a relationship with their narcissistic parent. That's not a good thing. Okay? I realize, ladies, that we want our children to know their fathers and all of that. But if their fathers is a narcissist, I say it's better if they don't know him. If they don't have a relationship with him, because it's all going to be down. He's going to be abusing them. He's going to be traumatizing them. Now, your kids are 8 and 10. I hope that he didn't traumatize them when they were very little. Watch that. Watch your kids and look at them. Pay attention to them. Because if he traumatized them when they were very little, you may have another narcissist coming up. Because narcissism is generational. It can run right through the family. Right through the family. Who knows? Maybe his parent was probably a narcissist. Could be both parents. Could be one parent. You need to look into that. Okay? But you need to watch your children right now, because they're at the age. Now, they're 8 and 10. And I think you said you have a 7-year-old. Usually, trauma from a narcissist with the children happen even younger than that, when they're 4 or 5. And then it continues as they grow up. You need to look at that. Okay? Because the narcissist could be sexually abusive to your children, physically abusive to your children, and emotionally abusive to your children. And all of those abuses can be traumatic and change your child. Okay? Can change your child. So that's just a heads up for you to be aware of that. And check on your children. Spend time with your children. Talk to your children right now at the age they are right now. And see if they are well adjusted outside of this situation. And you want them to be, stable children so that they can have a happy life. But if they have been traumatized by this narcissist, you need to check on that. You need to check on it. Let's see what else you say here. And you say that he, I guess this is your husband that you say, literally told me he hates me because I exist. Well, that's the demon. That's the demon. Okay? All right, that's the demon talking to you. Because the demon has taken over this person. Okay? And the demon does hate you. And the demon wants to destroy you. That's the demon's mission. Okay? I saw it in my mother as well. Pure hatred. How do you live happily knowing two people you love are on a mission to destroy you? You love them from afar, not close and personal. That's how. Okay? That's how. First thing, I would advise you to embrace your children. Check them out. Spend time with them, just you and your children. Talk to them. See where their head is at in regards to your husband. Because if he spent some real time with them, you want to make sure that they have not been traumatized by his abusive ways. Okay? That's first. Second thing, you need to distance yourself from these narcissists. Love them from afar. Okay? Which means that you don't communicate with them every day. You distance yourself from it. And work on yourself. That's what's important. You must heal from your narcissistic abuse so that you don't continue the cycle if you decide to get involved with someone else. Because at this point, it'll be another narcissist. You got to heal from it and cut the tie from this generational narcissism. You have to cut the tie. And you can only cut the tie through spiritual healing. Okay? And what does that mean? Well, we do our affirmations here. and we do a little movement just to get the circulation going. But next, you need to meditate. In meditation, you'll be led on a spiritual path to break all toxicity and negativity from your life. All right? And your life will begin to blossom. Blossom for you and your children. And that's what you want. But you need to break the tie with these toxic people. And I realize it's not easy to break the tie with people in your family. You know, your mother, your father, there's your ex-husband or whoever, and they're narcissists. You can't be that involved with them because when you are, remember, they are sucking on your energy. So when you're with them and you leave them, you probably either feel down, or you feel exhausted, or you feel confused, or you may be angry from dealing with narcissistic people. Okay? You have to distance yourself from that and work on your own happiness. I hope that you understand this, and I really hope that it helps you. Narcissism can run through generations. Generations. When you see these violent domestic abuses in families, and you see incest, things like that, those are generational curses. Narcissism is evil. Generational evil that has just come up through the generations. These generational curses are serious. And I really hope that you understood the message today, and I really hope it helps someone, because who knows, you may be the one to break the generational curse in your family. And you can only break it through your spiritual awakening. Your spiritual awakening breaks these generational curses. Okay? I hope that you all understand this. And in the description, there is a link for those who would like to start their spiritual awakening. You can look at that video. And I really hope it helps. Okay? Now, those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here's the link. Send your questions to MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFayesWorld@hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize your situation and ask the question. And if you prefer that I answer your question privately through the email, just put it at the very top of your letter and I will comply. To show my appreciation to you for your supporting this channel, I would be giving away a deck just like this one to one of you lucky subscribers. Once this channel hits 100,000, I will be selecting one of you to receive this deck. It's a 53 Oracle card I Am Affirmations deck. And I have been selecting cards from this deck for our daily exercise. So keep watching, because once we hit that number, I'm going to announce the lucky winner's name right on the channel. So good luck, everyone. I want to thank you so much for your comments. I read them, and I do answer those that I'm able. I really appreciate your letters. And a special thank you to those that leave a donation. I appreciate all of you. I wish you all the best and happiness, and I really hope to see you next time.